Nerfs. What is up, guys and gals and guys? Space Unicorn here bringing you some hot frag action today, guys. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over update 1.9.3. We're going to grade each part of the update and then give the update an overall grade for the entirety of the product. That means new characters, buffs and nerfs, and bug fixes, along with some new events on the side there. But before we do that, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. I need you to remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is genuinely appreciated, and I cannot do it without your help, so please do that. Hey, ring the bell if you want to be notified whenever we go up with a video. Also, use creator code SpaceUnicorn in the item shop as 10% of your purchase will go to me directly. It helps me pay bills and get ahead on daily items. Now, with that being said, let's get into update 1.9.3. Here we go. First up for update 1.9.3, we have the addition of the new card Piper Reese. This is one of the newest fraggers in Frag Pro Shooter. If you want to be part of the Piper Reese community, be sure to use hashtag Piper Reese, the real one. Now, I really enjoy this card. This card is a fun card to play. It is fun to look at. It is just a lot of things going on with this card that this card does very well. Honestly, this is one of the better balanced cards Frag has come out with in recent memory, and for that reason, I find this card to be very enjoyable to play. I'm way into the balanced card meta, and this is one of those cards that's just kind of, man, this card feels good. It's actually as close as Frag's been to balance on any cards recently, and for that particular reason, this card will be graded at grade B+. That's right, B+. Also, this card can only be attained through the ladies' fight with Piper Reese. That event is coming up next week, so I'll be sure to explain that whenever the event starts. And plus, who doesn't like doing 540 360s, like backflip 540s for headshot kills? I mean, come on, man. What is not to love about that? Let me just show you real quick. Yep, get my exercises in. Bam, W. Next up for the characters that came, we have Evil Piper. If you want to support this particular character, use the hashtag #TheOnlyPiperReese. This character was very, very interesting, and the breakdown for this character is also because we had the first event for this character. So the official grade for this character will be determined here by the end of the clip, as always. I enjoy this character. I think the ultimate ability is just a touch strong, but overall the primary fire and the movement speed helps balance this character out in a good way. And I think most of the Frag will come around. Like I said, this is another pretty well done character by Frag. These two characters came around, and they came around correctly in my personal opinion, which is super strange for Frag characters because, as you guys know, they are notorious for new characters being broken and needing nerfs, and these two came out, and Evil Piper's much the same. I personally prefer Piper Reese's look better, but Evil Piper's damage is a little better, so it's a little bit of an interesting balancing act between the two characters as a whole. Now, the events for these characters are as followed. The first event took place between the 5th and the 7th, and the second event will be the 19th to the 21st of this month. Get your chance, win this card, you'll enjoy her, she's fun to play. Just trust me on this, guys. I know a thing or two about Frag. Next thing, we got to give the final grade, and the final grade for Evil Piper is going to be an A-. Honestly, good card. It's done well. It's just a touch strong on the ultimate ability, in my opinion. But honestly, this is a playable card and an enjoyable one. Good job, Frag, on the two characters. Next on the update. Next up, we have the new event called Ladies Fight Night. This is the only way you'll be able to achieve Piper Reese and get her minus the battle pass. What you're going to do is you're going to have only be able to play with the female cards, and you have to upgrade them, and you have the max level of level 10, and you have to get 12 wins in a row without losing 3 matches. It's going to be very stressful, but it's going to be a ton of fun. This footage is from Frag Official, so be sure to go check out their video. Link will be in the down there. But this is kind of a basic feel because we haven't had the chance to play this event. It is coming up this weekend. That's right. This weekend we will have a chance to win Piper Reese. That is the weekend of the 12th to the 14th, and the following weekend, the 26th to the 28th. So be sure to get in there, hashtag the real Piper Reese, and unlock this new character for Frag Pro Shooter because she is fun. I'm telling you guys, just do a backflip 540. You'll thank me. And next on the update, it is important to note that these two characters will not have synergy. The devs are currently noticing there's a huge problem with synergy balancing, and they are working on it. I'm glad to hear this from the devs, guys. Good move on your part for making a statement about it. I hope to see a good, healthy resolution to the synergy problem. Excellent job on the devs. Kudos. Next up in this particular update, we will be bringing you grand total. Are you ready? Drum roll. The buffs and nerfs, of which we have 6 of them for this particular update. That's the most we've had in a very long time, and let's start it off strong. with Vandal. That's right, show us that Vandal. There she is. Now, what changed with Vandal? So they noticed that basically she was proving too difficult to use, so they had to change some things. The spray gun on this character got increased by 14%. Now applies a 5% slowdown, which makes tracking much easier as this is a hit scan character. So tracking is super important when playing a card like this. You need to be able to track your character and do as much damage as possible. They also changed her ultimate ability. This was always the hardest thing for new players to learn with this card. Splash zone increased by 50%. Slow increased by 20%. This means it's going to be even easier to inflict huge damage on Vandal. And Vandal, whenever she was mastered, was able to do a lot of work against a lot of different players. And I'm glad to see these changes happen to her because she is a fun card to play and I genuinely enjoy her. It should also be easier now to score hit points with Vandal. So let's move on to our next character, who is a buff. That's right, we have another buff, and this particular one is to Cypher. They basically wanted to add some versatility to this character for this particular buff, and so what they did was they level 1 health points were increased, so he now has a 20 additional health points to the character. The hack wave radius was increased by 50%, and the slow effect was increased by 25%. Honestly, this character can really cause problems for the meta right now, as Dolby and Wave can now be hacked. And with a little implant magic, you can increase the duration, causing those cards to really be a problem for your opponent to have on his side of the field. This is a very good buff on their part with Cypher. I'm going to give this one also an A. We've had 2 A's for the first time in forever in the buffs category for Frag Pro Shooter. Great job, devs. Now let's move into our next character. Next up on the buff list, Nautica, who got a pretty nice buff. They noticed he was too weak. We've been saying this forever. Now, did the buff actually address the weakness issues? So, they increased her health points by another 20 per level 1. They Tech Trident, her ability, increased fire to 50%, Trident projectile speed increased 37%, Trident projectile damage decreased 5%. I don't like that. Now marks enemies touched for 8 seconds. So basically, if you shoot somebody, you can then launch the Leviathan at them. Every marked target, maximum of 3. So you can string together 3 marked targets for a whale attack. This is actually interesting. So really good players can be able to hit 3 targets at once with Free Willy the Orca. Honestly, so this buff is not quite as good as the other 2, but I'm going to give this a B. I've messed around with her a little bit, and the ultimate ability is more viable in play, and that's going to make her a bit more enjoyable for players to play as well. Let's move on to our next character. Next up on our buff list, we have Mr. Tiger. So basically they wanted this card to be able to excel in close range combat, so they did some pretty interesting buffs here. They doubled 24 karat gold, the primary weapons of Mr. Tiger. The close damage was increased by 30%, and it is noticeable. Chopper Call, they basically increased the radius by 20%, damage was increased by 18%, and animation delay decreased by 14%. These are actually really good changes for Mr. Tiger, and honestly, to grade this particular buff that he has gotten, it's a pretty solid one. It's a B+. Great job, Frags, with this card as well. You've moved him up a tier in my rankings as also, but we'll be doing that at another time. You guys will see what I mean by that here in the future. Now, let's move on to our next character that got to change. Now we have our first nerf. That particular nerf is to Wave. Man, this guy needs it. But did they fix the problem? So what they did was they decreased his health points. The DJ Beam decreased short range damage, increased long range damage to 41%. Sound Blasters cool down between 15 to 20 seconds. So they did not even address the issue with Wave. The issue with Wave's ultimate ability is not the speed at which it is deployed, it is how far it goes. They just need to add a radius of effect instead of the entire map. Come on, devs. This card doesn't need change this much, and this is by far the worst change that they did on this update. And I don't understand. So for this particular nerf, unfortunately, I have to give it a D. Wave is still broken. Honestly, he might be stronger now because of the long range damage. I don't know what else to say. Let's move on to our next character. Next on the list, we have Dolby. What did they change? They nerfed this character. Supposedly, it was too powerful of a laser. The laser's not the issue. It's the alt. The alt's getting spammed. The bunker beats. But here's what they changed on this character. correction to the main gun, which should adjust range to 30 in every situation, so consistent damage across the board, decreased main gun damage by 13%, and the ultimate ability was increased to 20 seconds from 16 seconds. Realistically, this character didn't change much. He's still pretty much the exact same character. Whenever you have a character like this in Wave, you need to adjust the alts, not the character themselves. The issue with this card is the ultimate ability is getting spammed, and I don't know what else to tell you guys. Honestly, this is better than the Wave nerf, though. It is grade C as far as the nerfs. Now, let's get into the bug fixes for this particular update, and let's give our overall grade for the update as a whole. Alrighty guys, here we are with the bug fixes. First, they fixed an issue with Nautica where her magazine was emptied while being stunned. This was a very annoying glitch, so basically if Desperados or Wave hit you, you had no ammo, and it was very, very frustrating. They fixed a blind effect on Cypher and Queen Unicorn's ability. I never noticed it with Cypher's. I did notice it with Queen Unicorn, but I also play a lot of Queen Unicorn. They faced an issue with the AI, where resting their behaviors after healing action. This could cause AIs to ignore attack orders. The AI ignores attack orders still. That was not fixed. Sorry, devs. Fixed text in health regeneration implant. That was a good fix. I did actually notice that because I like to run that on a couple of my characters whenever I am playing it. They fixed in-app purchases. They do this every single time. They fixed a rare bug which causes users to lose their Pro Pass. This was a big issue that came around last update. I'm glad they got that fixed, and I have not seen a report of this happening since the update came out, so good on you for that. They fixed an issue which caused the AI not to defend a base when attacking. They still don't do this, Frag. The defensive AI is positioning too far forward. It's an AI programming thing. You just basically need to position them back more. Back and center more for defensive AI, and you fix that whole issue. Bada bing, bada boom. They fixed an issue where cards given by chests would be caused too much identical cards to be carried. Basically, it was just a glitch to get a lot of the same card. That's actually what's causing a lot of the level stuff that you're seeing in the game currently. They fixed an issue which caused Dolb's laser to not show up. Never noticed this one. Don't play Dolb. They removed infinite loading icon and messengery, and I haven't seen that. That's actually a good one. And they sized properly the phone ratio for the thing. I've actually noticed this in my recordings as well. Overall, guys, the devs did a pretty good job with this update as far as the recent updates go, so good on you, Frag devs, for that. I am actually very pleased with this update, minus the wave changes. Overall, the two new characters, phenomenal job. I love the design on Reese, Piper Reese, and I love Evil Piper's gameplay. And I also like trick shot with Piper Reese, so don't take that away, please. The buffs and nerfs were pretty darn good, minus Wave. I said that already. Wave, if you watch this, please hear me on Wave. The issue is not the damage. The issue is the ultimate abilities range. And the bug fixes actually seem to be working, which is interesting because normally with Frag you have issues where bug fixes just don't want to cooperate with you, and this particular update seems the same. So overall, the grade for this update is going to be the highest it's been in a long time for Frag. That's right, this is a B grade update for you guys. Excellent job, Frag devs. Give yourself a pat on the back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay safe, and I will see you legends next time. Bye bye, everybody.